What's up guys? Today we're going to be working on the 07, but I'm going to show you how to do a crankshaft position sensor on pretty much any 3800. They're all about the same. So I've got my brand new AC Delco sensor here. Let's get to it. Okay, so for the sake of speeding this along, we've already removed the belts, but that's going to be step one, is to take the belts off the engine. Now, step two is optional, but what I like to do is take an 18mm socket and lower the subframe down slightly on this side of the car. That'll just make the crankshaft pulley a little bit easier to get to. Those two are right here. And the other one is right up here on the foot. Alright, next, on a lot of cars, there's a plastic cover right here that you'll need to remove that's just got some push pins in it. On this car, that was missing for whatever reason. So the next step is just going to be to take this crank bolt out. And that is a 24mm socket to take that out. Comes right out like that. Then you're going to need a couple things. This kit comes from ZZP. This comes with the bolts and the spacer for to attach the crank puller. This is just a generic crankshaft pulley puller, nothing crazy there. Alright, so then once you've got this attached to the pulley good by threading these three bolts in and running this down in the middle, then you're just going to run this bolt in. That'll pull the pulley loose, and then it just pulls right out like that. Here you want to inspect the pulley a little bit too while you've got it out to make sure none of the teeth are damaged or messed up. But that's not what we're here to change. So the next thing we've got to do is look in here. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is just go right here and unplug the sensor, which is, well, yeah, we do need to do that next. Is a little bit tight in there. Okay, the one problem that I see here on this one, this connector is full of oil, so we're going from a crank seal leak. And now is a good time to replace the crank seal, but I've already replaced this one, so we don't need to do that. But we are going to clean this connector off really good before we put it back. But the next thing you got to do is remove this plastic cover, which is just pops right on to these two studs right here. So grab from one side, grab from the other side, and you should be able to just pop them right off. Not necessarily super easily, but it will come off. There we go. Okay, once you've got that off, disconnect the little wiring that runs through the top, which should just pull right out the back. Nope, no it doesn't either. Well, we'll just flip this out of the way for right now. With that over out of the way, here's our sensor. You've got a bolt right here and a bolt right here. So we're just going to pop both those bolts out. Okay, so let's take a quick minute and just see how this sensor works. I just can show you because I've got some extra parts laying around here. This is what your crank pulley looks like. And this is what the sensor reads. If you look at this, this is actually a double sensor. There are two crank sensors here built into one. And the way this sits on here, like this, it'll ride in here and read this, which has 3 triggers, and this that has 18. One of those is to feed your tach, the other is to feed the ignition signal to the PCM. But that's why it has that. That's why there are 2 of these, and that's why it can fail so many different ways. It can do anything from your tach cutting in and out to the engine just not running at all, to sometimes misfires, to a lot of different things. But that is basically how this works and what that reads. All right, once those bolts are out, you're just going to grab the sensor and wiggle a little and pull, because it does sit on a little stud, so it may not just fall right off. But if you wiggle and pull, it will come out. So that's your old one. And then we will just take the new one and stick it right back in that hole. Back in, and I got it cleaned out good with some electrical contact cleaner. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the pulley back. So that's it. It's all done and back together now. A pretty easy job, but I thought I'd show you guys in case anyone hadn't done it and wanted to know what's involved. That's pretty much it for this video though. Drop me a like, drop me a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and peace.